Hello everyone, this is Easy Mode Purpums bringing you another Marine Arena tutorial. Now this one right here is going to be on the Marine Ling build, which is a build that has been around for absolutely forever. Now the idea of Marine Arena, a lot of people actually complain because Marines aren't big enough in a Marine Arena game. But the entire point of Marine Arena is that Marines are a be-all and end-all late-game unit, and that nothing else will be able to stack DPS and health and whatnot faster than them. And this is very apparent in this video. Now basically, if you've ever tried to go Marines, you'll notice that they only have 45 health, and once you get Stimpack on them, 35 health, and they'll die super fast. This is why people always use them with Lings and Zealots, because Lings and Zealots can stack up a lot of health and just stand in front of your Marines, like I'm doing right here. My Marines over here just died that were in back, and all my Marines that are in the front, well, in the front flanking, all survived because they had a bunch of Lings in front of them, which all have 105 health to tank for me, so my Marines don't have to take any damage. Marines stack up damage, I believe it's 400% faster than a ball of Marines. That's huge. Think about that, 400%. Because of their unit size compared to the Marauder's unit size, and how fast their damage scales with the minor upgrades and their attack speed buff with the attack speed buff of Stimpack, they can just stack up massive damage. Now they have no splash also, which is key, because that means that it's all single targets. So you'll notice that my ally, Tasuki no Mi, I think I'm pronouncing that right, has bought an Overseer, which, if you don't know what an Overseer does, then you should probably start using them. They're awesome. They stun a single target, and then your army can snipe them, which is why we happen to be using it with Marines. My ally is. It's probably my favorite unit to synergize with Marines, because, like I said, the huge DPS to single targets with no splash means that it's all going to one unit like a hero, and they have no debuff versus hero like something like Air might have, which can do the same idea. And so that means, paired with Blink and Overseer Stun, you can snipe nearly every hero. This also applies to Dark Templar Void Prism, so a lot of people go DT. That's not featured in this video. But, that makes Marines probably the best hero sniper, army-wise, of course. Not like Spectre, but like, army-wise in the game. Even better than Air, or Lancer, or whatever other Raiders, which are slow, still aren't even as good. If you play Overseer and Blink Marines well, you can snag nearly every hero in the game, except like Honey Badger, because Honey Badger is meant to counter Marines. That's huge. I mean, I'm sure everyone that is listening to this has had trouble with heroes and so on. Heroes and elites, mind you. Right here, I think we snagged this Ghost that Purple has. Yeah, my ally drops the stun there, and boom, got it. 100 minerals. And fortunately, he doesn't mind that I'm taking the kill there. I actually apologize because I do that later in the game. That brings you to another point. Don't be a terrible ally. Be a good ally, guys. That's just do it. I mean, common courtesy, people. Anyways, and another unit that you'll see featured later on in this is the Medibabe, which Medibabe was sort of recently, not really recently, changed so that you can A-move it with an army, so you can keep it in your army tab and it doesn't just mindlessly fly over other people's armies, because it now has a healing beam along with its massive AoE heal, which, mind you, you're going to need to heal. I mean, you're going to need to either take center for a lot of the early game, or grab a Medibabe, because Marines, I mean, you're doing 10 damage to yourself every time you engage, to every single one of your Marines, and you've got, whatever, I have 92 right now. Oh, snag that Observer right there, I just one-hit it, because Marines are really good like that. And, that'll bring me into another thing. I noticed that I had 92 Marines. If you look down at my, my control groups, you notice I have 2 army control groups. With most armies, I prefer to have 1 army control group. Like, I'll have my Marines and my Goliaths in 1 army, and I'll A-move them around and stuff. With Marine Ling builds, I prefer to have 2 control groups. This is just me, I mean, this is preference here. But you should probably come up with your own set that you like to have for control groups. And apologies for the lag that I'm seeing here a little bit. My computer's not very good, and this is recording, so... anyways. And so, basically what that allows me to do is I can A-move around my 2. I like to keep my army on 2. That's just preference again. A lot of people have it on 1. Most people have it on 1. Also, that brings me to another thing. Always hotkey your army. A lot of people don't hotkey their army. I don't even know how you play like that. Hotkey your army. Now, I use 2, and then I have my Marines on 1. And let's just talk some controls here. Shift-clicking, control-clicking are different. Shift-clicking a unit will take it out of your hotkeys. So you'll see me like shift-click units onto towers or something so that I won't select whenever I select 2, I won't start moving it off my tower. control clicking is the same thing as double clicking, which means it selects all of that one unit. Now here I haven't actually figured out that you can control click units that are down in the little box thing at the bottom there, which is kind of dumb of me because that's huge. Yeah, you can control click and shift click from there also, guys. Use that. And so I like to control click all my Marines into one tab. That way, whenever my melee attack, I'll like A-move my melee or get us around with my melee or whatever, and then I'll bring my Marines up. Because, you know, it's all about how much DPS your Marines are packing in. Because you have to stack up your damage. Right here, I'm showing off my upgrades right now, just because I'm preparing for a second there. But I like to go 6 attack into the attack damage minus, which that'll increase your DPS by percentage base. I don't even know what it is anymore, it got changed. Anyways. And so, your Marines need to stack up. If you just A-move them, you'll form a little concave with your Marines, which is great and all, except for that you don't... That's useless because you have melee in front of you, and you could just be tanking all the damage with your melee and moving up, say, 5 more lines of Marines to be attacking. 5 times more damage with... You got 5 lines of Marines compared to 1, obviously. That's always worth having. So what I like to do is I'll hit 1 for my Marine tab and scoot them up behind my melee, which will drastically increase my DPS. That's something I've been doing all game. If you watch this, you can see that I do it. And I'll just scoot up my melee, and if you don't do that, your Marines are not gonna, I mean, you're gonna lose when you go Marines. Right here, I actually messed up my hotkey a little bit there, ran my Marines in. I had to back them up using my hotkeys so I could select them and let my lings continue to run around in front. Now I select my lings again so that I can bring them up in front and take those sharpshooters, which are nearly gone, and then there happens to be prone ones up on top so I can run away. And, I think I might do a feature on this. When to pick your battles. This is one thing that separates people who are like 15% win rate and people who are 85% win rate, is choosing your battles. That's huge. You need to know when you're going to run away, you need to know when you're being flanked, and you need to know what to do when you're being flanked and when you need to run away, etc. On the flanking subject, keep your towers. This is what I said last time, I think. Just keep your towers. There's no reason not to, unless they have, like, Air and Raven, which is, like, impossible to take the tower from. Keep your towers. It's huge. You can see when people are coming from behind, and that alone can win you games. I think somebody asked the other day, what is one thing I can do to improve my game against good players? So, like, when you're talking, like, 4 80% win rates playing each other. And the number one suggested advice was keep your towers or keep pushing, because it's just important. There's no other... That's probably the most important thing after you've mastered all the gameplay stuff, like counters and concaves, and when to move out and when not to move out. And with Marines, they're very hit and run. I mean, you've noticed that I'll run in and grab some units, and as soon as they get into a better position, I think I do this to green a couple times. As soon as they get into a good position, I'll just run away because I'm so fast, especially on the creep there, that my ally is spreading around with his Overseer. By the way, that's another awesome thing about Overseer. Everyone moves faster. Always useful with something like Marines. Oh, if you ever like going Devil Dogs move like 12 move speed when they're on creep. Just get an Overseer just for that. You can see that Overseer there, we just snagged that Colossus like nothing. It just got like 2 hit there. And Corruptors also can hit Colossus if you didn't know that. They're kind of handy. And they also can use Corruption, which makes you break armor a lot faster. I already featured that, so I'm not going to go into that again. But paired with the Overseer there, my ally just gave me another kill there. And you can see he's being a good ally. He's not minding that I got his Colossus kill. Because a lot of the times if you're playing a good player, I didn't need to attack the Colossus actually. I could have given him the kill, but I didn't. It's just a habit. Because a lot of times for a good player, they might have some way to get out. They might have a medevac on their hero. They could run away. Or they might not move it up so far. And so you're going to need to focus the hero with your ally. And don't get mad when your ally takes the hero kill unless there's literally no reason for that. Be a good ally. But try and support your ally also. A lot of the times people just try and Rambo around the map and not team up at all. That doesn't work. You're going to lose to good pre-made teams. Oh, also, if you don't understand some of the slang I use, pre-made team is something like me and Katsuki know me. We teamed up and we're in a party in this game from easy mode chat, which is a clan. And that's a pre-made team. Solo is what a lot of people will call when you just play random with a random ally. You don't have to have no ally. You don't have to actually be solo per se. It's just called soloing. And so solo versus pre-made is extremely difficult because the pre-made team can easily get a bunch of feed or just block you off while the other person just goes across the map and feeds on the team that you can't even touch. See, oh, they're having vision right there. Just saved me from being flanked and losing all my units to Teal. And then Teal is, I don't even know why he does that, gets flanked, gets corrupted, is trying to focus my corruptor, which immediately run away and gets barely even damage, and he loses his entire army. Having those little Zerglings there burrow, this is something I'm actually terrible about, is reburrowing Zerglings after they've been killed off during the game. Reburrow your Zerglings, having vision is key, like I said. It's something even I need to work on a lot. But right there, it saved my entire army from Teal. No, Teal was just Reavers, since you're planning on going Marines, Reavers right there. They stack armor, which armor negates 1 damage for 1 armor. And they stack armor faster than any other mercenary. That's terrible for you, since you stack damage really slowly. You just are very tightly packed, your Marines spawn very fast, and they can blink, and they have very fast fire rate and low damage. Basically, armor will wreck you if it gets out of control, like a Honey Badger or Reavers. So you need to counter that, either have your ally go like Immortals, you can grab Reavers yourself, Devil Dogs work. Since you don't need to go Lings, I prefer Lings. My ally prefers Zealots and Temple Zealots. Okay, I think Zealots are worse early game, but Temple Zealots are better later on in the game. So you can switch from Lings to Temple Zealots if you want. Tanklings are very good. You also have to look at what's countering. I mean, if I had to say the best tanking unit for Marines, I would probably say Temple Zealots. So they've been nerfed a lot recently, and Tanklings are pretty good too, considering they don't do very much damage, mind you. Tanklings don't do very much damage, but they spawn very fast, and there's a lot of them. Right here, see, I'm choosing my battles. I just checked his upgrades, and I was like, wait, why am I attacking these 5 attack damage sharpshooters when there's a bunch of 0/0 Zealots over here? And I eat these Zealots. I mean, they can't do anything to me. And I think he's Saviors here, which I'm trying to split there. You can split versus Saviors since they're very like slow target changers, and I don't know the actual word. They change targets very slowly, and you can split versus them if you're good. That was not a very good split, but at least I tried. Something to work on there, guys. I still practice that every game that I need to split to save here. You just abandon those Marines. You can save Marines with... Oh, that reminds me. Medivacs, because you can A-move them with your army, is something that you should definitely try if you're not comfortable with using elites. They're awesome with Marines. I mean, not only can you pick up... Oh, also, did you notice how my... my Marines will not just... I don't just hit D and my medevac just drops as it stops. I hit D and click it while it's moving, and that allows it to do that little drop thing while it's moving. That allows you to position and move your Marines and stuff a lot better than just hitting D and dropping them on the ground just in a flat area like you would normally. You can see these Reavers. Like I said, there's no real counters on them except like your own Reavers, since Reavers are awesome tanks for Marines if you stack up armor. Devil Dogs do well, but I mean, if you want to do melee Marine, there's no good option aside from just getting a Corruptor. Corruptors, I've already gone over this in one of my videos. They allow you to do a lot more damage than you would expect to Reavers. Always grab one since they're like 200 minerals, and you can do a ton more damage versus Reavers. You'll be surprised at how good it works versus Reavers and Honey Badgers. Now this is, I think I abused my medevac here. You can also take other people's towers. This is kind of awesome. You can just take a tower, and then, like I said, shift click it out of your army, and now I have that tower. And I mean, I crossed the map from it. I mean, I shouldn't have this tower normally. And right here, this is what I'm talking about with hit and run Marines and how they stack up damage on single targets. Right there, I just took his entire 500 minerals for that. Barely lost any Marines, load them all into there, and then I just abandoned those Marines. I don't even need them. My Marine came off the tower, and I gotta save him. Oh, here's a funny glitch coming up, actually, just off topic. Right there, the rocks have a healing animation. They get extra armor and heal from medevacs. Go figure. You can also place turrets on rocks. The more you know. Now this is where I position with my medevac, like I'm saying, with the drop medevac. What'd I do? I think I drop one to take the tower.
Talk to me.
Yep. And then I just cut off his escape. Right there. There's a free ball of Marines. He had like a bunch of destroyers there. See right there. He could have still made it, and I wasn't getting a nice concave. And then I moved a little bit, and now I just snagged a couple hundred minerals right there. Anyways, I think that draws all of this to a close. I might do another Marine feature Medifacts, Marines, Overseers, high damage. Oh, drops also. I don't do any drops in this game, so I can't demonstrate that. Drops are huge. You've probably been dropped before. You've seen that. I think that's everything. Thanks a lot.